Okay. This one's it's interesting because Dustin and I were talking. Through 6 years, we've been in 5 like this one. 2 of them on the positive side, and 3 of them on the negative side. And it's a lot more fun when you're on the positive side of the perfect storm versus the negative side. But I'm gonna give them, obviously a lot of credit. I think when you get an outcome like today, a good team like ours, or certainly a team that had been playing really well of late, has to play really poor, and a really good to great team like them has to play great. And that's what happened today. I mean, they played terrific. Don't know. Again, I don't coach them every day, but I've watched a lot of their films. I've looked at almost every box score. I mean, their effective field goal percentage was in the 70s. They made 16 out of 23 from 3. And maybe the game at Nebraska, I remember looking something like that maybe, or Nebraska at home actually when they played them, right, DB? Yeah. So, give them credit. I mean, they played great. I thought a big key to the game was the start to the game. It's like LeBron. I just said this on the radio. It's like LeBron. I saw his press conference after he had 61. He said he felt like he was throwing a golf ball in an ocean, and that's what it looked like tonight with them shooting the ball. So give them credit. I mean, their kids made shots. I think they had 6 or 7 different guys make threes. Stauskas was 7 for 9 from 3. They outscore us 48-6 from the 3-point line. That's plus 42. Tough to overcome that. I mean, obviously, because you look at the rest of the stat sheet, it's interesting. They had 10 turnovers. We had 8. We shot 16 free throws. They shot 14. Rebounding by percentage, pretty comparable. We went 18 for 32 on twos at 50-some%, and we actually missed some layups. I think these guys would tell you they had some they'd probably like to have back. So we did a pretty good job there. But at the end of the day, the difference was the 3-point line. Their ability to make 16 out of 23. We went 2 for 18. And we, at the same time, as well as they played, I thought there's some things that we could have done a little bit better. We fell for shot fakes. We fouled jump shooters. We weren't great in transition defense. We didn't get matched up. And when you play a really good offensive team, one that's second in the country in offensive efficiency, and you make those errors, they make you pay. You're playing Russian roulette at that point. You're just hoping they miss. And unfortunately for us tonight, they did not miss very many. So the biggest thing with our guys is our guys always give great effort. I'd be shocked if I watched the film and say, hey, the primary reason we got beat is because we didn't play hard. I very much doubt that. I think it's more execution on their behalf, thumbs up. Execution on our behalf, thumbs down. Those two in an equation together is not a good recipe, and that's why you get the result that you did. But they obviously they played really well. Biggest challenge for us now is we have tomorrow off. We've played 3 games in 7 days. We got some guys who are a little bit banged up. Got to get them healthy, and we got to come in with the right mindset on Thursday. We take a lot of pride in coming back from adversity and getting off the mat. And we've done that over and over again over the 2 years. And now we've got that challenge, on Thursday. I do think we're certainly a better basketball team than we played today. And, we've got to get back to work on Thursday and Friday in preparation for the game in Iowa City. Questions for the players?
Kendrick, it didn't take you very long to recognize that you could get into the lane. What did you see when you were out there in the first half?
I just think that they was kind of running me off the 3-point line, and that just gave me a wide open lane.
Ray, what's the challenge of guarding all these different shooters and the system they run? What's the challenge? What didn't you execute tonight?
I mean, lately we've been playing great defense, and they was just knocking down like every shot they got, every open shot they got. I think they knocked down.
What's the main emotion while that's happening? You're playing out there in the first half especially. Is it frustration or just, how would you describe it, either one of you?
We just, no frustration, just keep playing and try to defend it.
Raise you again now to next game at Iowa, and then you got the Big Ten tournament. Just it seems like it's been one game at a time for you guys, but as the thing changes, just how do you keep approaching this thing?
That's how we look at every game. We take one game at a time and prepare for. We're gonna just go back and look at the film, see where we get better, and just prepare for Iowa.
talk about the challenges as a young player, playing against some players like that. I know you were on, both of you guys switched off on the Stauskas and Levert. I forget who had who, but what's it like guarding guys like that, veteran guys who play at a high level like those guys?
It's a challenge, and I think I could do well at it. But, we just got to get better on the defensive side, and we'll have the next time.
What did you guys see with Stauskas that makes him so special, considering, he's really, what does he do?
You really just can't give him any space. Just you give him a little space, you're going to knock the shot down.
Anything else for these guys? Okay. Let them go.
Questions?
Update on Joe?
Don't know. Paul Schmidt, our trainer and director of sports medicine, will take a look at Joe here. And I haven't had a chance to meet with Paul because I've been running around with obligations here after the game. But, it's something knee. Paul does not think it's anything major at this juncture, in his opinion, but we haven't obviously taken an X-ray or done anything like that. We'll do all those things to make sure that we do right by Joe and, make sure that he's okay. So I'll get a chance to get an update from Paul here when we finish. Yeah, Jalen didn't practice at all yesterday, and today he tried to go and shoot around. He tweaked his ankle in the Michigan State game, tried to go, wasn't able to practice at all yesterday. Thought we'd give it a shot and shoot around. Did rehab twice yesterday, rehab twice today, and he couldn't move enough for us to put him out there at this point in a competitive situation like that. So, get some rehab tomorrow, and Paul will give me an update on him as well, and hopefully we have him back for Saturday.
Mike gave you some.
I'm sorry?
Which knee for Joe and what ankle was it, do you know?
You're going to ask me that. Whichever one was wrapped. You know which one it was, DB? Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure which one it was.
Mike gave you some good minutes tonight.
He did. Yeah, he had practiced really well for a couple weeks here, really imitating the other team's players really well. So, he got in there and he battled a little bit, and he got a couple good looks. I got a lot of confidence in Mike. He's a great shooter. He missed them, didn't make them. I thought Iki had 3 big-time looks. Didn't make any of his either. And like I said, it was just one of those perfect storms. We didn't play real well. They played great. And that's when you get the outcome. They don't necessarily feel good, but this one's not real complicated. They played great, and again, I think the 3-point differential. I just think it's nearly impossible to win when you get outscored 48-6 from the 3-point line.
I feel Mike performed on defense.
We'll see. We'll grade it out, Rob. Nothing necessarily stood out other than obviously he fouled a jump shooter. We don't want to do that. He knows that. And we whacked him and gave him 3 free throws. But like I said, we fell for some shot fakes. We fouled jump shooters. We didn't execute great. I don't think it was for a lack of our heart and mind not being in the right place. I thought we practiced really well. I think we've been playing as good as we've played all year leading into the game. It was just one of those perfect storms. We all got to kind of man up, figure out a way to get a little bit better, and be more competitive and play better on Saturday.
You could meet this team again. The thought of it, just as a coach, as a competitor, does it immediately appeal to you as a?
Yeah, I love challenges. I think our guys do too. We talk about it all the time. That's kind of part of our culture and who we are. We love challenges, and every night's a challenge in this league. It's a great league. You sign up for it when you decide to come to Illinois. I tell them that all the time, and it's a privilege and to have the opportunity to play in this league and to play here. And you play against big-time players and good coaches and teams that are prepared. And you got to love the challenge of competition, and I think our guys certainly do.
Last year when these guys left here, they were leading the #1 team in the country. Tonight they celebrated the Big Ten trophy. Do you use those things with your guys? Do you show them some of those things to maybe motivate them a little bit about what you guys want to become?
Yeah, but not right now. Right now we need a day off to get some treatment and rehab on a couple guys. We played 3 games in 7 days. 2 of the 3 I thought we played excellent. So we weren't very good today, and I've got to figure out, we didn't do anything physically the day after the Michigan State game, and yesterday we went really short. Maybe we did even a little bit too much, being it was the third game in 7 days, so I'll certainly take some responsibility. They didn't have a lot of pop, and, I got to do a better job for them.
What's the challenge of a guy like, I know there's so many options on this team, but a guy like Stauskas who seemingly can score it when he's got a hand in his face?
Yeah, obviously he made shots tonight. He took 11 shots, Jeremy. 9 of them were threes. A couple of them were off the bounce. Some of them they got us in rotation, and they were able to get, too many assisted field goals tonight. That's a telling story for me when I look at that. 29 field goals, 15 assisted, so right over 50%. But yeah, just like Ray said, he just raises up and shoots the ball in. We knew going into the game that it's very difficult to prevent him or Levert from getting shots off. We wanted them to shoot over challenged hands, and we wanted them to try to shoot off the bounce. I think some of them were off the bounce, and they nailed them, which that's what good players do sometimes. But some of them were too good of looks, transition, or they got us in some rotation, and we didn't execute that part, great. So, we'll take a look at it and see how we can get better.
A lot of coaches this year have talked about Twitter and how it's affected their team. Excuse me if you have already answered this question.
Sure.
Has Twitter affected your players at all? Or?
I don't know. I try to educate them on it. You can institute a Twitter ban. I've done that once before, or last year I did it, and I did it in my 4th year at Ohio for different reasons. But usually we're trying to teach them and educate them on how to use it wisely. I think at the end of the day, the thing about Twitter is not necessarily what you tweet, it's what you read. And that phone is sitting right beside those kids every day. So that temptation to read, that regardless of another coach in our league, and I talked about that, of who you are, that's pretty tempting, So, you got to be really disciplined. But, we try not to get too high or too low. If you do that, I think, that's just how a season is. So you go through things like we did today. We go through, just the other day we had, a great win for our program, and, sometimes they balance each other out. You can't get too high or too low, and we got to stay the course. We've done that all year, and, we plan on doing that here when we get back to work on Thursday.
How'd you like how the 2 times you did the ban? How do you think it worked out?
I thought it was good at that point in time for us. I thought it was good both times that we did it. But I prefer to educate guys necessarily more than, because when they leave here and they're done playing for us, there isn't going to be a ban. So I want them educated not only with Twitter but also other areas as well, so that when they leave here, obviously the goal is that they're productive, responsible citizens. That's what we all want.
You came in here with so much momentum, and it seems like sometimes if a team loses in this way, where a team's just hitting everything, and maybe that momentum can stop. How do you keep this from deflating the team?
Well, I think it's going to take a certain element of toughness, Shannon, for sure. No one likes to get beat like that if you're a competitor. But I tip my hat to them. They played great. Especially on the offensive end. They played great. So, we've got to figure it out, and we got to keep moving forward. The game today doesn't erase the fact that, in the previous 2 to 3 weeks, we played the best we've played all year. That's actually a larger body of work than one game. So, but at the same time, I think we always, as Ray said, regardless of what's happened with our team for 2 years now, our guys know that we take a lot of pride in learning from every circumstance. We think it's a responsibility to be a lifelong learner and to figure out how to improve and get better, and I think it's a big reason why our team has gotten better during the season, because we take that approach.
Based on that, we assume that the players and the staff are going to try to have amnesia about this game. Is it still safe to say that your goal is the NCAA tournament?
Well, our goal every year is to be in the NCAA tournament. I think I said yesterday at the press conference, I think it's the best, tournament. I'm biased, but, I think it's the best tournament in the world. I love that tournament. But we can't sometimes when you're, right now where we are, you can't control that. You have to worry about the process and playing well, and then that other stuff takes care of itself. That's always a goal. Every year that's a goal for us.
Anything else?
Thanks.